Good afternoon, and welcome to our first online gathering. We will go directly into the first question.
All right. The first question comes from Nina. She says, "Hi Raj, I am Nina from Athens, Greece. My question at this time is it appropriate for me to make the move to the United States at this time, given all the parameters of my family situation and my financial difficulties, and if yes, is the place I am thinking of going, Montana, staying with my friends Mara there, the best choice? Thank you very much. Your help in this is greatly needed. Thank you again."
The answer is absolutely yes. It is appropriate at this time, even under the circumstances. It's also important for you to understand that there will be adjustment, learning that you will go through. I'm not saying that it will be difficult, but I am saying don't go with dreamy eyes. Be very grounded and be very practical. The circumstances you ask about are one of the reasons that it's important for you to make this move. And so I encourage you to have courage and do it. Do it with optimism, but don't do it with any cotton candy pie in the eye attitude. It's a point of graduation for you, if you will. A stepping out literally into not just a new experience, but an experience with new parameters, more expansive. Be ready to be willing to embrace a lot. A lot of good. A lot of new good. And through it all, be sure you are honoring yourself. If you try to honor others in the process, if you try to cater to their concepts and their opinions, you will complicate things for yourself unnecessarily. So keep it clean by staying in touch with your needs, by keeping your feet on the ground, and moving forward resolutely. Okay.
All right. The next question comes from Bob Keefe. He says, "Hello, Raj, and thank you for holding this online gathering. It seems that feelings, especially feelings connected to other people, is a major issue in my life. My parents, especially my father, are not emotionally open people. I also don't always feel very connected to my partner. This seems to carry over to my connection with God and Holy Spirit, and also my guide. For years, I've been trying to establish some feeling of connection and communication with them, trying all sorts of approaches, and yet I still feel all alone. I just recently did a 6-day intensive at the Monroe Institute to hopefully open a communication channel. While it was an awesome experience, I never got the feeling of another presence nearby during any of the meditation exercises, then or since. On the way home last night, I was listening to a recent ACIM meeting. There you said, if we're not connecting with our guides, it's because we're still living from the, quote, I'd rather do it my way approach, quote. This kind of made me angry, because while it's true I don't always think to turn to the altar, it certainly is also true that I've made many efforts with more than a little willingness, quote unquote, to listen for what the Father has to say. But I never hear anything. Why is God playing hide and seek with me? I'm very frustrated. What is the most effective means for me to establish communication with guidance? And why haven't I been successful so far despite all my attempts? Thank you for being here for me.
I will tell you something. Few people are more stubborn than Paul. God doesn't play hide and seek with you, but you are stubborn. And you don't realize the degree to which you are stubborn. There's only one way to cut through it, and that is persistence. Paul did not hear from me the first time he reached out to me. Not because I didn't answer, but because he was still too much in control. And he had to persist and persist and persist. He finally got to the point one night where he said to me, you know, I've got better things to do than sit here trying to get in touch with you. And as I've said many times before, the better things he had to do were to worry about his problems, the very things that were causing him to reach out to me. And naturally, he didn't hear my response that night either. But you know, I managed to get a thought through to him the next day to the effect that he couldn't strong-arm the universe, he couldn't strong-arm God, and that the very attempt to get me to answer him, to manipulate me, was what was blocking. And so he saw this and decided, okay, if it took a year to get in touch with me, he would sit down every night and get out of the way to the best of his ability and wait until he heard me. Yet he still didn't hear me for 3 or 4 nights. Now, God is not withholding himself from you. Your guide is not withholding himself from you. The Holy Spirit is not withholding itself from you. There is a need for some melting, if I may put it that way, some softening in you. You know, you are a very loving person. You really are. You are not hard-hearted. But it is difficult for you to abandon yourself to your heart. It is hard for you to yield into your softness. Because structures for strength are very important for you. Structures for Not strength in the form of power, but strength in the form of structural integrity. But I'm going to tell you, the structures are not what are holding you up. The structures are not what are making you stable. You have fooled yourself into believing that they are. If you will let them collapse, you will find yourself still standing upright in your integrity. And so you really can dare to let go of control. Now, you're not the only one who has this difficulty. And you're not the only one who will have to persist. But I want you to understand that at the same time that you're reaching out, your guide, the Holy Spirit, is reaching out to you as well. So it's not a one-sided attempt. I'm going to ask you a key question. What better thing do you have to do than reach out? If everything else you're doing isn't working, then dare to persist with infinite patience. And dare to persist with infinite patience because I'm telling you that what you're insisting upon leaning into is your natural and divine function. It is. It's not some strange, new, radical thing. It's utterly inherent in you. Because of this, you really have nothing better to do than to persist without impatience and without frustration. Oh, but I'd rather fuss about how blocked I am. I'd rather be upset, because if I'm not upset, I won't have anything to motivate me to change. Wrong. You don't need the frustration and the stress. Persist gently. Persist. Persist without willfulness, which means persist by neglecting to do anything else. Do you see what I mean? Persist by neglecting to energize anything else. I want you to consider something else too. The Holy Spirit has the means of connecting with you, has the means of creatively causing the ideas you need that will forward your growth to register with you. It may happen in a song on the radio, or words on a billboard that will click with you. It may just be 2 words out of the blue in your mind as you're driving down the freeway. At the same time that you are unwillfully listening, I want you also to have the attitude of curiosity to see what creative way your guide or the Holy Spirit will manage to reach you. Another thing is, don't feel that you have to be formal in the way you listen. Don't assume that you must have to meditate and be in perfect peace before you can hear. It's not true. It's helpful, but it's not true, and the word you give is the experience you'll have. So you need to loosen up. Are you your father's son? Are you the son of your human father? Is not feeling in your genes? No. You are your capital F father's son. And as I've said before, it's the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Well, let's just take the first couple of words. It's the Father's good pleasure. Pleasure is inherent in being. Pleasure is inherent in you. The capacity to feel is what the word soul stands for. God is soul, and what God is, He has embodied in you as you. You know, God didn't just look at everything He made and recognize Himself in it. He experienced what He saw as good. You get it? A feeling of pleasure. Your capacity to feel is full-blown in you. It's not stunted. It's not crippled. It's not unavailable. And I want you to stop identifying with your human father in those terms. Start identifying with your capital F Father. That's where the new vision or the greater openness in you to experience pleasure, soul pleasure, will arise. And when it arises, you're going to learn something about your human father, rather than learning something about you from your human father. The truth you will experience about you will reveal your human father to you, and what is true about him and what he is capable of as well, and you will be able to relate to him in a new way. You're not trapped and you're not caught and you're not irrevocably stuck. You're just a little bit too rigid, a little bit too tight in what you're willing to allow. And so I am showing more of you to you today so that you have a sense of what you're opening yourself up for. What of you are more willing to embrace. Again, it's a matter of patience and perseverance. Don't persevere for your limitation by focusing on it and getting frustrated and upset and demeaning yourself, criticizing yourself. You know what? We're on your side. We're on the side of what you're asking for. We are standing in support of it. And in my voice, I want you to hear that you have our help. You have a habit of being hard on yourself. You have a habit of being overly demanding and not allowing enough. You know what? You're not at the bottom of the barrel. You're not stuck in the gunk. You're not worthless or useless. You're really, and I'm saying this in the most practical terms, the most human terms, you are a thoughtful and loving person capable of feeling, and your actions embody that. But your tendency to be critical of yourself causes you not to see it as fully as you need to. Are you getting my message? Because I'm being very direct with you, so that you might not continue to suffer needlessly just because of a tendency to be self-critical and too demanding. Too persnickety. As I said, if you let go of the structures that you feel are so important, you will not collapse into a heap. You will still find yourself standing there, but now you will find yourself standing there in an integrity that came before any structures of orderliness, mental orderliness, physical orderliness, that you instituted yourself. It's there for you to relax into. And that's part of what all of this is about. Let go of your impatience. Be willing to persist without willfulness. But because you have the idea, at least now, that you have nothing better to do, because doing it will uncover the fact that it's already your function and already natural to you. And let this unwillful persistence be done to the best of your ability in the context of pleasure rather than self-development that is necessary because of how short you come up on the measuring stick of where you ought to be. That measuring stick is unkind. It's cruel. It's the ego and not the Holy Spirit, not your right mind. And again, remember, we are actively standing with you in terms of this unfoldment. I'm glad you asked the question. Okay.
All right. We do have a follow-up question from Nina.
Very well.
And
Bob, if you have a follow-up question, you can go ahead and post it, and we will get to it.
Nina adds, she says, will I be able to make the plane trip safely, given my health conditions right now, as in asthma?
Yes, you will. You will indeed. I can't put it more simply than that. Don't waste your time indulging in fear about whether you'll be able to make it. That will upset you. It won't be the asthma that upsets you. The use of your mind is what will upset you. So don't use your mind that way and enjoy the flight. If being in Montana is you being in your right place, then the means of your getting to your right place will be there, including the capacity to get there without getting ill. Have some confidence in the way things divinely work and in the way purpose is fulfilled. Okay.
Okay, Serena Rocky has this question to ask. Raj, since I was little, I have felt like I really know you. As a kid, I would feel so upset, like I wanted to defend you, when I felt like someone was misrepresenting you through religious talk. And I have always felt like we have a lot in common in terms of our communication style. You said it was you who spoke to me the first time my thinking switched off, quote unquote. Has it been you giving me answers to other questions too, like how to stop the pigeons eating my plants by putting pinwheels in the flower pots? Or is that my guide, or are you my guide? Why do I feel like I know you so well? I've been embarrassed to ask, but it keeps nagging at me. Thank you.
Yes, indeed, it is me who has been answering your questions. No, I am not your guide. I am not everyone's guide, but I am with everyone. You feel an affinity for me because we're not strangers. You let me in a long time ago. Not in a past lifetime, per se, but before this lifetime. And you could say we are friends. We are friends because you are not defended against me.